of Birds 365. He's John McMullen, and I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. I'm here filling in for my guy, Jody Mac. In the meantime, we're experiencing some slight technical difficulties. That's why we were late. Sorry about all the conundrums and all the nonsense going on in the world right now. Sorry about that, you guys, but we're here, and we appreciate you guys for locking in with us, as always, on another day for Birds 365 for your good old Eagles talk. John, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. Probably not as good as the Eagles, but I'm feeling good, Tone. I didn't get the computer issues today. Jody did, so that's a positive spin on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely understand where you're coming from, and I experience it all the time, especially in this new age with everything being digital and so on and so forth. So, man, I have to ask you, right? I've been thinking about this. A lot of people love to use the numbers to define if guys are elite or not, right? A lot of guys go beyond just the eye test. They literally like to rely on a lot of these numbers. The old adage is numbers don't lie, right? But I want to run some numbers.
Oh, they lie. They lie. They lie in football like you wouldn't believe. But
to your point, right?
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on something really quickly, and then we're going to bring our guy Jody Mac up. He just got here. I want to throw something your way, and then you guys can take over. Jalen Hurts currently is on pace for 4,165 passing yards, 28 passing touchdowns, 863 rushing yards, 12 rushing TDs. A.J. Brown on pace for over 1,300 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns, 86 catches. Devonta on pace for over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 86 catches. Miles Sanders on pace for over 1,300 yards, 12 rushing touchdowns on 264 attempts. Those numbers, is there a chance that this Philadelphia Eagles team can probably prove to be maybe the most explosive Eagles offense that we've seen in a long time based off the numbers alone?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're already there as far as I've talked about it, as far as versatility, as far as being able to do both phases. Typically, most NFL teams have an identity. They throw it well, they run it well, sometimes both, but not to the degree to where it's as balanced as the Eagles, and they can beat teams each way. You don't see it. It's rare, and that's why you go back to the 363-yard rushing performance against Green Bay, and then Jalen's at 380 the next week against Tennessee when they pull him from the game with the, essentially the mercy rule for the poor Titans. You don't see that. And you got to go back to 1987. The last team to do it was the Raiders back in 87. So do the math, it's 35 years. Doesn't happen every day. Doesn't happen every year. Doesn't happen every week. So, yeah, I mean, this team is the most offensively, the most versatile team in the NFL, the most versatile team in a long time. People point back to Lamar Jackson's Jody joining us with a full-fledged green screen. So we'll give a shout out to Ocean Casino Resort.
Yes.
Jody's not down the shore, but
no, I'm not. And for those who thought I overslept, sorry to interrupt you, John. I did not. What I did was to set up our shot, I need to pull my computer out. I have a different setup where the computer is so that it gets the full effect of the green screen. And I must have pulled one of the wires out because the computer just went completely out. I don't know if it was a power. I don't know if it's a connection, but no, that was just my.
I had a full power out yesterday, so
that's right. You just froze on us with a big smile on your face. You look good. You look giddy, Johnny Mac.
Well, it's good. It's good to see you, Jody Mac. Good to see you as always, J Mac. I'm going to let you guys take care of your business, and we'll get that green screen sorted out over the break. You guys, I'll catch up with you.
You got it. Thanks to Tone for jumping in my spot here for a couple of minutes. That's it wasn't my oversleeping or laziness.
No, you were here before me. I saw you, and then you were gone.
You did see me. Yeah, it was my technical ineptitude of trying to set my shot, which didn't quite come off as I thought it was. And before I know it, boom, I got a black screen. I got no screen whatsoever. So my apologies for getting to the party a couple of minutes late. Despite my screwing up the technical aspect of it, it doesn't change the fact that the Eagles are still 10-1.
11-1. Don't dismiss them.
Why do I keep doing that? I only get.
I don't know. I got to think about it too, because somebody said 12-1 when they were talking to Nick Sirianni. So they were jumping the gun.
Oh, really?
They asked him what it was like to be 12-1. So I have to correct myself.
Somebody's overstating.
It's boring. 10-1, 11-1, 12-1, soon to be 13-1. It's all soon to be 12-1 this week.
It's the darn bye weeks that screw up everything. And believe it or not, we still have a couple bye weeks left. There are some teams that have already played 13 games. So this week is the last of the bye weeks. Did you and Tone talk at all in the 5 minutes I was getting my computer back up and running about the ESPN disrespect for the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, we were talking about the huge offensive numbers and the versatility of them and what they're on pace to do, which is pretty impressive. It was interesting, though. Nick Sirianni, somebody asked him about Jalen Hurts being MVP, and he gave the typical answer. Yeah, we'd love to see it, but we don't really care. Love to see it for the individual, but the Eagles have much grander dreams than an MVP. But it would be nice, and who knows if he becomes the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 and rush for 1,000. Maybe that puts him over the top. But the disrespect, yeah, I think it all. Me, I think it all relates back to the quarterback, and there's certain people who don't want to admit they were wrong about the quarterback for whatever reason. I don't get it. Yesterday on the show, Jody, I said Jalen Hurts is the MVP of this league. I didn't think it was going to happen. You heard me say it. And when I was saying...
Wait. Let me quickly interrupt. Who did?
Nobody did.
Hurts was going to be
nobody did.
But nobody. It isn't like he was in the debate and something.
Of course.
Other guy. No one.
No,
I don't know that Jalen's mom had him in the conversation for MVP of the NFL.
There is a small, unrealistic portion of the fan base that thinks they're going 17-0 every year and thinks every Eagle's the best Eagle.
Here's the percentage.
Very, very small. But I bring it up for this reason. While I was doing it, somebody on social media was bringing up one of my former columns when I said Jalen Hurts was never going to have a Patrick Mahomes game where he throws for 380, blah, blah, blah. I said I was wrong, and somebody's on social media searching out to prove I'm wrong. This is why people, now I don't give a flying you-know-what, but this is why so many people are so hesitant to say they're wrong, because you got all these idiots that are keeping score, and I think that there's a bounce back. People who don't understand, we do this every day. We give you our opinions in the moment, and guess what? They often change, and mine on Jalen Hurts has changed because he has done so much to improve his game. And he deserves a ton of credit for that. The coaching staff deserves a ton of credit. A lot of people deserve credit for it. I didn't see this coming. As you said, most realistic people didn't see this coming. Doesn't mean it hasn't come.
John, there were a lot more people who thought Jalen Hurts will never be a franchise quarterback than Jalen Hurts will be an MVP level quarterback in the league. There were a lot more people who said this guy isn't good enough. He's never going to be able to improve his accuracy. He's a runner, not a pass. No, there were many more. If you're talking about percentages, either way, there were more of Jalen Hurts shouldn't be the quarterback of the Eagles this year than Jalen Hurts is going to be in the MVP race. That's a really small. Here's the other percentage of those who thought Jalen Hurts shouldn't even be the Eagles starter, but one was bigger than the other. So if you can't admit that you're wrong, and I think most people do, if you're in our business, you do, I do, guys who are worth their salt do as well. If you're going to let that affect the way you look at what's already transpired in the standings and say, wow, I need to put the Eagles in their place, because I was one of those who doubted Jalen Hurts.
Well, I don't think it's that overt, Jody. Real quick, I don't think it's that overt. I think it's more of a sort of subconscious thing where people say, this kid can never be Patrick Mahomes because of where he's drafted, pedigree, whatever. He could never play at that level. I think it becomes, and they don't believe it because they've already made up their minds in the past. I think it's more that than an overt. I don't want to, because some nut job on Twitter is going to bring up old columns or shows or whatever. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's more subconscious. So there's a lot of people who say, and you see it all the time with players with undrafted. We see with TJ Edwards. There's a bunch of people who still don't believe TJ Edwards is a good player because he went undrafted. There's a bunch of people. I see them all the time. I get them. He can't run. He can't pass cover. He can't do this. He does it every week.
Yep. To
the highest level in the NFL. He's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. The NFL got it wrong, because he had one bad day at his, I think it was his pro day. And he ran a 4.87 or whatever he ran. That's probably the only time in TJ's life he ran a 4.87. He had a bad day. Can't hold it against him for the rest of his life, but some people do.
And the thing I have to, and Tommy Lawler from Eagle Blitz is in the green room ready to hop on with us, so we want to get to him. But this ESPN ranking that came out yesterday is supposedly 100% analytically driven. Not someone's opinion, not someone consciously or subconsciously trying to put the Eagles in a perspective because they had doubts about the team and they had doubts about the quarter. The subjectivity is supposed to be completely out of this. It's supposed to be all analytics driven, and somehow the Dallas Cowboys is the number 1 team and the Eagles is the number 4 team. Really, it's time to restart the computer. At least I know what I did with my computer this morning. I pulled the plug out of the back. That was my bad. I'm copping to it. ESPN needs to check its computer modules, because how the hell you come up with the Cowboys as the number 1 analytically, statistically driven team and the Eagles no better than 4th? I don't understand how that can be mathematically possible. But anyway, running a little late. My bad. Sorry for starting the show late. We are going to get to our first guest, Tommy Lawler from EaglesBlitz.com, longtime Eagle writer. Always good when he joins the show. We're going to punch him up next here on Birds 365.